All of that excitement that you can hear is the crowds gathering outside the GFT for the 2024 opening of the Glasgow Short Film Festival. This year the spotlight has been on underappreciated Scottish filmmaker Bill Douglas, who would have turned 90 in April. But who was Bill Douglas, and why has it taken over 30 years since his death for his work to be more appreciated by the public? To find this out, I talked to the curator of the Bill Douglas Cinema Museum in Exeter, Dr. Phil Wickham.
So Bill was born in April 17th, 1934, so it would have been his 90th birthday this month. He was born in New Craighall. At that time, a mining village just outside Edinburgh. He had, as you can gather from the films, extremely difficult childhood. Brought up initially by his maternal grandmother, who then died. The Bill Douglas trilogy, as it's often known, is three different films inspired by Bill's own upbringing. Of course, Bill made films that were, quite challenging, were not necessarily commercial. It is a real shame that he never had the chance to make more films, but the films that he did make kind of leave a lasting legacy.
While Bill didn't receive financial support or much acknowledgement from the audiences during his lifetime, one person that always encouraged him was his lifelong friend and collaborator Peter Jewell. I spoke to Peter about his memories of Bill and how he supported him to start on his filmmaking journey.
We were having Christmas at my home in Devon. I think I said to him, "What do you want for Christmas?" and he hadn't got a clue. So I made him make a list. And I got him everything that was on that list and put it in a pillowcase. And he was quite thrilled to get this movie equipment, 8mm, a camera, projector, editing.
And they started to make sort of home movies, some of which are really quite innovative and experimental short films of all kinds of different genres, different types.
If Bill was in it, I was behind the camera, and vice versa. If there's anything good about them, you can praise Bill. If there's anything bad, you can blame me.
Bill always said, they were just sort of messing around and learning what to do. But you can see the beginnings of a style start to emerge.
And it quite surprises me now some of these films are going to be shown at the Glasgow Short Film Festival, which is crazy, really.
And nearly 60 years after that cherished Christmas gift that would change Bill's life, the GFT have hosted numerous screenings to celebrate the work of Douglas, including premiering many of his short films for the public to see for the first time.
We were approached about 3 years ago, I think even before COVID, by Andy Kimpton-Nye, the researcher and filmmaker who uncovered these early shorts.
That was the Glasgow Short Film Festival director Matt Lloyd. I spoke to him and emerging filmmaker Aaliyah Gaffar about the extensive work that they put in to restore these films, including how they had to re-record dialogue for one of the movies which had been lost.
So our role in kind of restoring these films has been to recruit Aaliyah Gaffar and 3 actors to transcribe and then re-record that dialogue.
It was kind of an interesting challenge and quite different to anything I've done before. I was asked by Matt Lloyd at Glasgow Short Film Festival to come on board as a director to direct the dialogue for one of Bill Douglas's early short films. The process of doing it was really interesting because you're taking sort of a piece of film history by a really important Scottish filmmaker, and then I'm having to kind of come in and try and do justice to that.
This year would have been his 90th birthday in April, so it seems like a fitting time to sort of be celebrating his work again. Whether these films in themselves bring more people to Bill Douglas, I don't know.
I had the pleasure of attending the premiere at the GFT, so let's find out what the people of Glasgow thought and whether or not they were already aware of the work of Bill Douglas.
I actually went into it not knowing what I was in for. I kind of kept myself away from it. I knew who Bill Douglas was. I didn't know anything about the short, so everything was a really beautiful surprise.
As a lot of other people I've heard tonight, didn't actually know anything about Bill Douglas, so it makes me want to go and look at the trilogy. Because when I hear trilogy, I think of like the Sunset trilogy or something like that, or Robocop.
I hope the GFT do a whole season of Bill Douglas films now, because I'll be there, I'm telling you.
So it's clear that the audiences in Glasgow enjoyed the films and the festival achieved its goal of bringing new audiences to the work of Bill Douglas. But I thought I'd ask his dear friend Peter about what he thinks Bill would have thought about all of this.
Well, I'm sure he'd be gratified. I'm gratified on his behalf that each new generation seemed to rediscover the films of Bill Douglas. It makes me feel proud. Yeah, 17th of April, it would have been 90. But 57, there's no age to die. And if we went to see a screening of the trilogy, he would often drag me along with him, simply that we could go for a walk somewhere while the films were being screened, and he could come back once they were all over.